What's up? What's up? What's up?
What up, though?
What's up, though? It's your boy Wakamar in the building. Well, I'm in a very different kind of building. You got Detroit Mail, like always. The big homie Nick Sean's going to join us in just a second.
Right.
So let's get all the preliminary shit out the way. The shit that pays the bills around this thing. Y'all going over to our Patreon. We'll put the Patreon in the link in the description link after the show. You can go in there, feel real charitable. You
Right.
know, Christmas is done, Thanksgiving done, so hopefully you got your rent paid, and now you can feel real charitable and donate to I.O.W. Sports. Um,
Ching,
we
ching.
ching ching. We appreciate anything, whether it's a dollar,
Right.
$2, $3. Everything helps.
Yeah, nigga.
Helps
Your
Detroit.
bridge card, nigga, 25 off a $100.
Your EBT card.
Right.
So you ain't got to spend money on groceries. That
You
work
know what I'm
too.
saying? Go ahead. Empty the groceries up. What up, though, sincere?
No, but no, everything helps Detroit Mail and myself offset all the expenses on what it takes
Damn.
to build this media conglomerate.
I ain't bought food stamps a long time. What's the rate on them now?
Now, I don't know. It depends
I
on
know they ain't
who.
25 off a 100 no more.
No, it's whoever got the EBT card, man. It's all digital now, brother. So that's how they do it. But no,
No, they still charge you though.
no. This well, I'm pretty sure they still charge you. They charge you like if you use like $100 worth, but only pay them 50. I mean,
Oh, okay.
it's
Okay.
a
Yeah.
profit for them no matter what. So,
I need to find somebody. Don't respond this publicly. We don't get you in trouble.
yeah,
But hit me in my DMs.
slide into the
Slide to
DM.
the DMs.
Yeah, slide into
Nigga
the
need to get some
DM.
groceries.
Yeah, shout out Sincere. I saw you say, so what's up, kinfolk? Happy New Year's to you, my brother. Peace, prosperity, and love to you and your family for sure.
Right.
So y'all definitely go shout out the Black Owned Podcast, another collaborating podcast that we do a lot of stuff with. So definitely check out Sincere King, the big homie over there. Um,
I gotta check out the new host.
I know I know because
Is that not Lady V? That
not
ain't
not
Lady V.
Lady B was already on there for a minute but I'm curious. I'm curious. We'll find that out. So y'all
Yeah.
check them out on
Let me find
Tuesdays
out.
nights.
Sincere got him a stable. He pull him up. Retire this and put me another one up.
See that? Hey, what I'm not gonna let you do is get my brother into trouble. He is a married man, happily married man. I'm not gonna let you get my brother in trouble like that. But no, definitely check them out. And do us a favor: like,
Right.
share, subscribe.
Right.
Go on over
Right.
to our YouTube page, hit that bell notification, hit that subscription button. It lets you know every time we come up and drop a show like we are today. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We got all that.
All
Um,
that.
all that. And don't forget, we always got the merch. We'll post the merch. yeah. I know. I know. Hey, sincere.
Hey,
See, I had
hey
you,
man.
dog.
It's a
I
jet
had
lag,
you,
Sincere.
dog.
I just got out. I just got off the plane. Man. It's a jet lag.
Yeah, so Detroit Mail just got back from Detroit. I'm still in Jamaica, as you can tell. I can't really see my camera because it's still bright out here. I'm probably sweating like a
Nigga, we can't
motherfucker.
see you.
See, see, that's the shit I'm talking about.
This
See,
nigga
that
is
shit right there.
this nigga is stunt dumbling for charcoal. My bad. Continue with the show.
Man, shut your little ass up. I don't even want to fuck with you right now. But no, the Patreon's on there. Like I said, we also will drop the links to the merch, so you can go to Bonfire, get you some J. Evan
My mama
collection.
calling me.
The
Take me
exclusive.
out right quick. I'm gonna ask this my mama right quick.
Oh gosh. The exclusive merchandise provided from Detroit Mail. We also got, the I.O.W. sports merch on there. We got the I.O.W. bird. You see it in the corner. Wrong one. You see it in the corner right there. You can get that on a T-shirt. You can, hey, sincere, bro. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm over here looking like a rude boy. I'm smoking like an island boy. no, you can see it, man. Man, Jamaica is beautiful. I'm doing some self promotion real quick for sandals. All you couples out there, I'm telling you, this all inclusive shit. The liquor, the food is dope. Can't beat the view. Get you a nice little room. I prefer that you bring your wife, but if if it happens to be with your mistress or your side piece, it's still a great time regardless. But you got to come as a couple. So hey, you guys would enjoy it. I got to knock off one of my to dos on my list. I wanted to do a podcast in Jamaica, so I'm doing that right now. Get the pleasure of doing that. But I still been tuned into the streets, the sports world streets. This you already know what we're gonna talk about, y'all.
You know what we're about to talk about.
Yeah, let's get it out the way now, so we can talk about it now.
What up, though, Mel?
I was hoping, yeah. What's up, Mel? Is y'all definitely go show some love to the Man Down Podcast Network. Like, share, subscribe their content. We do a lot of collabs.
You in a comfortable position.
How you ain't comfortable? You got that good chair and shit. I got this old, hotel balcony chair.
I got the mic in a different position, so it's like trying to get used to it now. It's closer.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
That's what they all say. Yeah. Anyway, as a matter of fact, I'll let you lead the discussion because y'all already know what we're going to talk about.
So we got to talk about
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, man.
Brown.
What Mel say? To establish, he said, "I stand with AB. I'm player first. Establishment never." Here's my thing about AB. I think he have some kind of mental issue. At first, I was like, okay, he just being, just doing crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. But yesterday didn't seem. And like I said, we don't have the full story of why he acted the way he did.
Yeah, because right now we're getting conflicting stories.
Right, but when you go from one emotional extreme, CT, what up, Ryan? CT might be it too. We go from one emotional extreme to another one. That usually shows some kind of mental disorder, whether it could be CTE, bipolar, something like that. Because you remember he was so upset, he threw his stuff out in the stands. And then he walked across the field. And then he started waving and moonwalking and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Before he went to the locker room. So he went from one extreme emotion to another extreme emotion. One report said that Aaron's benched him, and that's why. Then another report said Bruce Arians want to put him in, and AB refused to go in.
Yeah, so, and he said, and last report I saw from Rappaport, said AB felt that he was a little bit too injured to play, and they were trying to force him to play, and he didn't agree with it. They said, well, if you don't, then you can go. But here's my thing, and I'll keep it short and brief on the whole.
What up, Nick?
What's up, guys?
Welcome, the big homie Nick, to the show.
Sorry, man. Doctor had to call for all the bad news. I had to take 10 minutes.
Damn! You need that penicillin shot?
No, that's uncurable. They said at this point.
Oh my God! That's everybody calling me now.
Oh, well, damn! It sounds like you need that Magic Johnson kit. But no, no.
I told Jamil earlier. I was like, this motherfucker came out, hung out with me one time, and I've been sick since.
And I've been just fine. So
alcohol cures everything, brother.
Hey, it's the Appleton's rum out here in Jamaica. That's what it is. It's been curing all of it. But no,
enjoy it, man. Enjoy.
What we talking? Go ahead, because we're talking about the we getting it out the way. Talk about the AB situation and
why? What happened?
I don't know. He kind of got it through his pads and kind of left his job. Male kind of think that he might have some kind of mental issue, and I'm gonna say this: the only thing about trying to find out if he has CTE is you can't find out until he's dead. So it's one of those things that you really can't judge if he has CTE until, unfortunately, he passes away. So, but here's my thing: if he has something, and I'm gonna read Mel's comment in a second. He goes, he is 100% suffering from CTE. I commend Luke Kuechly for retiring early after recommendations from doctors, but AB's concussion was way worse. And everybody's gonna have their opinion on why he's been acting like this. Me personally, after that hit from Vontez Burfict, the behavior after that point, and I'm not saying it's excusable. I'm just saying that it might be a starting point of the behavior that we've seen from AB. Because before AB, we see, boisterous, comical, not more that rebellious behavior yet. It wasn't until later in his career you start seeing that mess. I'm
actually watching it now again on network.
And I'm not saying that's an excuse for it, but I'm just saying it can be a possible start. That's all I'm saying. We don't know 100% of the story on why he stormed off.
Here's a key. I think it was key. I say it's key, was interesting when you listen to Brady's comments.
Mm-hmm.
Brady was more like, "Hey, we need to embrace him. We need to love on him." Like he knew something was going on with him.
That's some real morbid shit, dog.
I'm just saying, but it almost sounded like he knew that AB was suffering from something mental. You know what I'm saying? He kept saying like stuff he's going. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. Stuff he's going through. We need to be more empathetic to him and that kind of thing. Like he just knew.
Which brings me to my next point.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, I'm laughing at the memes. Yeah, I think they're funny and the jokes. Yes, they're funny. But let's take the context. Let's kind of put everything into context real quick and really think about what if it is a mental issue. Mm-hmm. What can we do to use Antonio Brown as an advocate to get the type of testing of the brain and of behavior while people are still alive? Like, let's not wait till we got the next, Vincent Jackson. Let's not wait till we got the next Junior Seau.
Right.
Let's not wait till we got the next former NFL player who's, suffering in silence in a hotel room, drinking himself to death because his brain is fucked up.
Right.
So all I'm saying is let's not rule his behavior out due to mental issues. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go down that route. Check it off the list. If it happens that he's acting like this because of mental issues, then we could possibly prevent it something. And we can use it for future references with these football players and other athletes that take a lot of trauma to the head and diagnose it. But you know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is I know a lot of people are going to have their bad griefs and gripes about Antonio Brown, and I get it. His behavior, just like we said with the dude Chad Willard, mental issue is not an excuse for bad behavior.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We said that there. I'm gonna say it now. It's not an excuse. But what if it's something that we can help prevent these athletes and get them the proper help that they're not behaving like this? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Melvin said TB12 may be referring to AB's mental, but he may also be referring to the fact that Bruce Arians was looking for a reason to cut him. That could be true. I guess what makes me lean more towards that is that how their relationship kind of started. He brought him in when nobody else wanted to take him, brought him into his house.
Yeah, so nobody wanted to touch him.
And plus Brady kept mentioning the friendship and all that stuff. So he spent time with him. And so I kind of lean more towards that because of the time he actually spent with AB. It's more of a personal one-on-one time versus like you just brought this guy on the team, he's one of your teammates.
Yeah.
He actually spent, you bring somebody in your house, that becomes more personable, that becomes more intimate. And
you're
on
not
those
just
lines
at work anymore. You're seeing them in the hallway at night.
Right. Like, man, can you make sure you let the toilet down? Just I don't like that. Stuff like that. So it seems more of an intimate setting where they might have had discussions on his mental.
Well, he knows AB in a more personal
In a more
way.
personable way.
Yeah.
So that's why I lean more towards that. I mean, I can't just count what Mel said because neither one of us know for sure. But the reason why I lean more towards that is because of those reasons. What Ryan say?
He went big perm on big word. he said, fuck with my money, like fucking with my emotions.
Yeah, but if you didn't hand in a fake Vax card and get suspended for 3 games, you would have had that bonus a month ago. And they force-fed him the ball the last game of the season last year to make sure he got a bonus last year. So that's not Tampa Bay's MO. So anyone who's taken that approach, I completely cannot agree with. Because
that's fair.
I watched the game. They played the Jets. I didn't miss a play. The coverage early in the game, he had 3 catches, I think 26 yards. And then they changed the coverage. They had Bryce Hall on him, Bryce Hall is a 6'1", longer, lengthier cornerback. And AB will twist and turn those guys and eat them up. And they did. And then they switched and put a smaller cornerback on AB, and AB disappeared for a while. And then they went to put him in a game, and he got pissed off, and that's when it happened. There's no way that the Bucs or Tom Brady will throw it to Satan if Satan is open in the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
So let's not act like Tom Brady is not going to do whatever it takes to win. Because if people are taking that approach, and this is coming from the ultimate Tom Brady hater, but I also respect greatness. Tom Brady is not looking at an open wide receiver and be like, nah, the organization said he's going to make 350 if he catches this. Fuck that. That's not Tom Brady.
Right.
We all know that. So anyone who takes that approach or that mentality with it is shitting on Tom Brady, the competitor. And you see, Tom Brady will fucking fight a referee on the middle of the field if he don't like the call. Right. So as much as I hate Brady, I respect him because he's never going to do something because the organization might save money. That's just unrealistic in my opinion.
Right.
But I'm going to be the first to admit, watching the game, seeing it live yesterday, like jaw dropping, like with what's going on, I will admit that I got caught up in the whirlwind of the memes and the excitement and the listen. We live in a day and era where when you do something so outlandish that the internet hasn't seen or come up with yet, you're gonna fucking blow up the internet that day. It's gonna implode when you go off the cliff or off the edge that no one's ever seen before. But I got a text today from somebody and it said this, and it totally changed and now you guys know me. You probably expected me to be roasting AB left and right here, right now. Simone Biles quit on her team and mental health became a national pandemic and emergency. Antonio Brown quits on his team and walks off, and it becomes the laughingstock of America. This is the difference between caring about women's and men's mental health in our country. We view men as a joke, and we take women very seriously, and we have to stop everything to help them. And that's why America is fucked up, and I will be the first to admit I am part of that fucked upness.
That's one of the reasons why.
That's actually an interesting take, Nick, because I didn't look at it that way. Because
they wanted to stop the Olympics. Simone Biles has mental issues. We're never competing again.
Well, here's another caveat to that, and I don't want to take away from the thrust of your argument, but you still have to look at Simone Biles as a beloved person in the media. She's a darling, of the Olympics, where
AB's a villain.
People done crapped on AB so much, whether it's justified or not justified, that now when he does something, they're gonna come down him like a ton of bricks. And in this case, you can clearly see this man needs help.
And I'm glad you said, and not to cut you off, Mel, but I'm glad we're talking about this because that's why I said my point from the beginning is I get they're going to have their jokes and their memes, but we got to look at it what this is. This could possibly be an outcry of help from this man. It possibly could be. Because let me ask you guys this. You just won a Super Bowl. You are actually on the same exact team that can possibly get you another one.
Right.
You found a way to revitalize your professional career when nobody was going to mess with you.
Right.
Why would you throw that away? And that's why I'm of the belief that it might be a mental thing.
It doesn't make rational sense
at all.
So you have to go.
Nothing he's done since Pittsburgh has made sense. Like if we break it down, he goes to Oakland, he rips his coach and his GM, calls them racist, he gets thrown out of there. It's like, say, free at last. You were there for a case of beer, and you're saying that you're free. So right there, that's the first major thing, right? He's throwing furniture off the 10th floor balcony. He's assaulting his baby's mama or wife. I'm not sure who it was at the time. Forgive me.
Trainers getting in the off the field
and screaming outside the houses. Having to move in with Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady's fucking 42 years old and he's got to move in a wide receiver to keep an eye on him. Like, none of this, when you really look at it and break it down, has shown any good mental health. The Vax card situation, handing in a fake one, like, none of it has shown good mental health. But we've just looked past it, right? Like, we just kind of shrugged it off. Yeah. But there's been a severe pattern of something's really fucking wrong with this dude. And I'm not saying that as a dig. I'm saying it as a concern. Yeah. That it, the biggest blame to this is the NFL. Yeah. The Patriots, the Raiders, the Buccaneers. Your fucking desire to win so badly that you don't care what you do, who you burn, who you use, what situation you put them in mentally.
Right.
It's the Al Davis. Just win, baby. Just win. Everyone's fucking doing it.
I mean, that's corporations in general in this country.
I get it. But in a league that is pretending to care about CTE and wants to do things for veterans with mental issues, why don't you take care of them before they're veterans or before they're retired? Why don't you raise some red flags? You got your doctors with the red hat on the sideline who got to diagnose people with concussions. Why can't we have people diagnosing people who are acting fucking crazy?
Right.
Why stop there? Why be half-ass effort again, NFL? Go to fucking all in if you fucking care that much about everybody.
Right. Yeah. Let's read these comments because we get behind. Mel said, nobody close to AB mentioned a bonus or incentive. I'm hearing Aaron's cut him from the sideline because he went into the game because his ankle wasn't feeling great or good. And
he didn't cut him. He benched him. He said, it's AB, go in. AB said no. And that's when they said, all right, then you're done. But you're done with the game. Like, you're out. I'm not using you today. And then AB took it further.
Then he said, excellent point, Nick. Whoa. Let's leave it right there. So,
that's it. End of the show.
End of the show. It's been good, guys.
This is a Jamaica circle.
It's not just AB though. Mel, KD, Kyrie, mental state has been the butt of media jokes for years. And his last comment.
Not so much media, more I think fandom. I think with now. Fans are the media in a way, right? They break memes, they break all jokes. Like the media doesn't do it as much as I think more. Dennis Rodman. AB is going to be having secret meetings in North Korea soon.
Oh Lord,
try not to jump on him too much. No, there's been many athletes throughout time where shit just ain't right, and it's been turned into a spectacle. It's been turned into the three-ring circus. And as much as we love normalcy in sports, I think we're also attracted to the abnormal.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes
Dennis Rodman, Kyrie, AB, we can go on and on and on and on forever.
Kyrie's just a kooky guy. He's just kooky. You know what I'm saying?
No, he just thinks different. He just
I don't think he's got CTE issues. I just think
not Kyrie. I don't think so. I just think he's just different.
He's got CTE, but he's just
different.
He's flat earther. Like he's
just cut different.
He's popping shrooms as much as he's jump shots.
But I think what Mel's comment is saying is that as much as the media has dumped on AB for his bad decisions off the field, the media has dumped on KD and Kyrie in a similar fashion. and they're just having your own opinions. You know what I'm saying? And so, I get that too.
Yeah.
But hey, look, the media it plays a big part in a lot of this, and I think that's another factor that needs to get talked about is the actual cause and effect of the media and how it plays with people's mental. Because some people can be strong for a while, of like, I don't pay attention to the media, but sometimes eventually it caves in on them, and they're like, well, I don't know how to mentally deal with this shit. Or some people just ain't mentally right from the beginning and can deal with the media.
If I could read Mel's.
Go ahead.
Nick, it's been media too. They called KD's bunker account weak, insecure, soft, etc. This all came from Stephen A. and Chris Broussard and others. Mel, I will be completely 100% honest with you. I would not know if Stephen A. or Chris Broussard even spoke about me.
You don't listen to them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't watch ESPN at all because of how they spin shit.
Mm-hmm. That's
I did read bunker account. I'm sorry.
Burner account. No.
I was just happy that I read bunker out loud. I missed it with Burner. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. You drive Burgundy. You read what's on the teleprompter.
Right.
I got
it. Come on, Baxter. You know I don't speak Spanish.
Look, and just to close this topic out because we got a couple other topics to get to.
Can we just bring up Steph Curry and his dad got two women that got their pussy in the streets?
Wait, what? What?
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
What are you talking about?
Steph Curry and his dad, they got they married the same type of woman.
They share.
Oh, you talking about Aisha and Dale's wife, ex-wife?
Yeah, both of them got their pussy in the street.
I thought they were sharing wops the way you were talking.
All right. Just because I'm not too well informed on that topic, we're going to move on.
I'm just saying.
But no.
Can I say something? It's nothing related to what Mel just did.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're in Jamaica and it's got better fucking internet than Detroit had last week.
Damn, that's good. But no, to close this topic out, AB, we don't know 100% just because we're not in the loop like that. And, there's going to be a lot of stories thrown out last night. There's going to be stories thrown out today. Might be some that come out tomorrow and further. So, but at the end of the day, I'm kind of getting the same conclusion that we all think is bigger than just football. It might be more mental. And if that's the case, give this man the proper help. And possibly he can be an advocate to watch out for mental health in the future for other guys. But Mel is head. Oh no, see this guy right here, Melvin Wall. He wants to say next topic. Mel has won 2 out of 3 fantasy league championships. Just saying that is all. We're definitely going to move on because I'm not going to give Mel.
Can I make one closing comment on AB?
Yeah.
You mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
Football aside, because let's all be real. There should not. You quit on a team like that, you should never be signed again in the NFL. No team should ever put themselves out there for that disaster, right?
Let me ask you this, though, Nick. Let me ask you this. If it comes out that he is dealing with mental disabilities.
Take care of your life, man. God bless you. Take care of your life.
Okay, that's fair.
That's it. End of it. Because if Tom Brady and Bruce Arians, the most player-loving and most loved coach by players, can't reel in AB,
but see,
nobody. Belichick tried. Gruden tried.
Let me say this though, Nick. But you are talking from the perspective of someone who does not have a mental disorder. What I mean by that, what I mean by that.
No, hold on, man. No, Nick has them. He just ain't McDonald's. There's a difference.
No. What
do you mean? Right.
I'm saying is,
I missed Mel's statement. Start over.
What I'm saying is, your statement is based on talking about someone without a mental disorder. So what I'm saying is, if this man has a if he doesn't have a mental disorder, then what you're saying is true. If these people who are player coaches who are known to real people in couldn't reach this person, then yeah, I can see, I don't, for lack of a better word, throwing him away. But if he has a mental disorder, then what you're doing is not going to reach him because you're not approaching him from a standpoint of a mental disorder. You approach him from a standpoint of being
diagnosed, wasn't he?
Huh? Say
From
again?
my understanding, not to interrupt you, I'm sorry. I thought he was diagnosed, and I thought they were.
If he was, I'm not sure. I don't know. If he was,
I thought when all that shit happened with his wife, I thought that's why he was trying to get back in the NFL because he was taking meds, and that's why they were giving him a chance. Hey, listen, if you do shit like that, no NFL team is going to. You see what these guys go through for the combine is next month. You see how they diagnose these guys before drafting them.
Right.
They're doing the same homework before signing a free agent. They're not just rolling the dice on a guy.
Right.
And there's got to be some skeletons, for lack of a better term, right? Or medicinal usage to help you. Right. And then you need somebody like Brady to step up and say, I'll bring him in my house. We'll make sure he's on his shit. I'll take him under my wing. I'll take responsibility for him. When you need to do that, diagnosed or not, there's mental health issues going on. Because you can't trust the guy to be the guy.
Right, and I don't know. So from that standpoint, I don't disagree. What? Let me say this. I'm gonna read his comment. Then we're gonna move on. From that standpoint, I don't disagree. I guess more of a broader statement is that there's a lot of moving parts to this. I think what Brady did was admirable, whether or not you like Brady or not, because he stepped up and took the responsibility of taking this man in.
Agreed. But he shouldn't have to at 43 years old in the NFL.
Well,
it's not like he's a high school coach and
you shouldn't if you don't have these issues. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And now, second part to that is that the NFL, and you alluded to this earlier, Nick. The NFL, sports in general, it's like a monster. It's going to feed on what it needs to get that product out. So they don't care. You can have one leg, if you can catch the ball, they're gonna put you out there.
You can be a one-leg kicker, and somebody will try to sign you if they
don't care. If they feel they can make money off of you, they're gonna make money off of you. It doesn't matter what's wrong with you.
Right? Like they don't care about making the money. They're gonna make the money regardless. The television contract is a television contract.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter.
It's about winning games. It's about winning games. Players like that.
Right. So that's my point. So you have all those factors into the AB thing. I'm gonna read Melvin's comment, then we're gonna go ahead and move on. What AB did just look bad. It's not as bad as it looked. His teammates would have welcomed him back with open arms because they understand him. The problem was the head coach. Mike Evans tried. Let me read the rest. I get you.
Go. I didn't know there was more.
Mike Evans tried to stop him from walking off. I think players that are close with him get him on a deeper level than Aaron's. That may be true, but go ahead, Nick.
But when you undermine the coach and say, I'm not going in, the coach has to cut you.
He has to do
regardless of what you did after the fact. Even if he walked off the field with pads on, without the theatrics, you undermine the coach.
Hey, that's what they call that at work? Insubordination.
Yeah.
Hey, man, he just quit like everybody.
And Mike Evans wants a ring, and he knows Godwin's out, and he knows that this to take the pressure off of him. So of course he's gonna be like, yo, stop! I need you. We need you.
Good point.
Hey, but imagine
if Godwin's there, they fucking let him walk.
Hey, you got a good point.
Right, but go ahead,
those other dudes stepped up and won the game.
Go ahead. Let's move it forward. We're gonna be on this for a while.
No, I got you. So over the weekend, of course, we had the football playoff. Alabama, of course, showed their muscle again. Took out the darling underdog story of Cincinnati, took them to the woodshed. And then in your second game, Georgia did what Georgia does to another big team, Jim Harbaugh led, and took them to the woodshed. So let's talk about the Alabama-Cincinnati game first. I'm going to get you guys' takes on what you thought about it, and then we'll move on to the Michigan-Georgia game. So, Nick, no surprises on the dominance of Alabama?
I don't care what other two teams you put in these games. Alabama and Georgia were meeting. They've been the best two teams in the country. Michigan showed that if there wasn't bad weather out in Ohio State or wherever they played in Michigan, and that weather and that snow didn't freeze the Ohio State wide receivers and prevent them from doing their double moves and running on a track, Michigan wouldn't have been in this game. The only thing that got Michigan there, shout out to Mel, man down, fantasy god, lit, swag, what up? So we all knew Michigan wasn't going to beat Ohio State. The only thing that could help a running team like that, slow down a passing team like that, was inclement weather. They got it. Then they got a no-threat Iowa team who's been between 16 and 20 in the country for the majority of the season. You put Notre Dame there, it's a blowout. You put Oklahoma State there, it's a blowout. Anybody who got in, and as long as Alabama didn't play Georgia, you were getting an Alabama-Georgia championship. And that's what we got, because the eye test tells you all year that these have been the best two teams in the country. So I think it's I hate that it's on a Monday night because my son's an Alabama fan and I'm rooting for Georgia, and we're not going to be able to watch it because he's got school and he'll be at his mother's. But
it's booty, ski.
I can read the ski, but I can't say the part after it that Little John says. You guys could say it. I can't say it.
Here's my quick take on the semifinal games this past weekend. I'm looking at Harbaugh, and I'm looking at a long list of bowl games, postseason games after regular season, where he's coming up short. And it's not just this past weekend. It's numerous. It's at least 4 or 5 in a row of postseason games that he has coached Michigan and has failed to get a game. And I'll let you comment a little bit later on that, Mel, about how you feel about it. But he has to do something with his recruiting, because his recruiting will only get him so far, as in making a lot of noise, but not being the noise. You know, he's not on there. He's not on that recruiting level as Saban or Chris Smart or Dabo Swinney or Jimbo Fisher. He's not on that same level yet. So he has to figure that part out. And
let me ask you something while you're on that point, before you move on to another one. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think he's not on that recruiting level, or do you think his game plan is ground and pound? So he's not going and getting the top receivers like Alabama or Ohio State or Clemson. He's going and getting the linemen. He's getting the running attack. He's getting the run-stopping defense.
He's getting the trenches.
Yeah, which could win in the NFL. But in this day and era, you see even Georgia could fucking air it out. And Georgia's never been known for like a high passing attack. They've had running backs throughout the years, you know?
To answer your question, Nick, I think it's a combination of both your statements, because with him sticking to that same ground pound mentality, he can win a trench war, but it can only get you so far. You still need some studs that can go make some plays.
Athletes, right?
You need athletes.
Like you can match up and beat Iowa 10 times out of 10 because Iowa builds their team like you. So you're a better version of Iowa.
Yeah.
But if you got a good weather game, like you saw in Miami, or
Ohio State wins that 9 times out of 10.
Easy.
I don't agree.
They win that game like Georgia won that game, 34-11.
I don't agree, because I feel like
they got the better athletes.
Can I finish?
I'm just saying.
I think. Okay, let's take the Ohio State. Let's take the Ohio State game first. I think with the Ohio State game, I think this was Michigan's year, regardless of how the weather. I think they would have beat them this year because they felt confident versus the other times they were going to that game. They didn't have that swagger that they had this year. They didn't have none of that. They just kind of like, so we gonna lose this game because they lost so many times in a row. This year, when I watched how Michigan went into that game, they went in that confidence. So I feel they would have won the game no matter what the weather. Now, the weather helped. Okay, that helped. That's just like anything goes. I'm not saying it because I'm a Michigan fan, but I guess like anything goes when you play in a game. If you lose one of your players, you still have to go in there and play that game. Ohio State knew the weather's gonna be bad. Ohio is not a warm state. They play in the cold weather too.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so I think they would have won that game. Now the Georgia game, Georgia and Alabama, everybody know they showed that they are the best team in college football. Period. So whoever they would have matched up with, I think Alabama would have beat versus Georgia unless they matched up against each other. So so I just feel like that's just how it was for this year.
I think this has been the closest they've been matched up in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the weather was the deciding element. And no disrespect to anything you said, just from not having a horse in the race on the outside looking in.
Right.
The gap has been wide for a decade.
It has.
And this is probably the best Michigan team to face them in a long time. I just think the weather.
That's like, okay, I think that's just like saying, I don't think Michigan State is a better team than Michigan this year, but they beat Michigan. You know, because it's a team they get up. There's a game they get up for.
I would have much rather seen Ohio State in one of the games, preferably against Alabama, than Cincinnati.
But going to the
Cincinnati didn't stand a chance. If they played either one of those teams, they were getting ripped.
I think with the Cincinnati game, because I watched the game, Alabama, not to take nothing away from Alabama either, but I think Cincinnati lost that game. They had a lot of opportunities too that they did not capitalize on. You know, and I think that's and we talk about this a lot. That's what separates good teams, great teams. You have to capitalize on those times, because when you playing teams like Alabama and Georgia, when they make a mistake, you have to get on those mistakes. When you have they show you an opening, you got to take those openings, because.
But Alabama slipped against some unranked teams in the last couple of years, so they were susceptible for maybe a Cincinnati, because Cincinnati could be on par with A&M, right? Mm-hmm. And A&M did this year,
right?
But I'm surprised Cincinnati kept it as close as they did, and they only lost by 21.
The Michigan game, I think they need to combine their two quarterbacks together. I think that
goes to what Lamar said earlier about the recruiting. Like, you're Michigan. You can't fucking walk into a living room and get a top 5 quarterback.
But see, Michigan, and Van had made this point before too. Football does not drive Michigan like it does Alabama and Georgia, because they have a very rich alumni. So they like Ohio State, Notre Dame had these academic requirements that you have to meet as a student athlete. And a lot of these people, like Ray and them, not passing that. Yeah. Ray and them might be, and Pookie and them might be good athletes. They're not meeting those academic requirements where they can go to a Georgia and Alabama, and they're like, you playing football for us? We find a way to get you in. Yeah. I think that's what hurts programs like that, because you're not gonna get that 5-star. You may get a 4 and a 3-star, but you're not getting that Georgia and Alabama talent until you can. I mean, now that's not to say that ground and pound that Harbaugh run is good either, But Michigan been like that for years. I've been told them when they had Lloyd Carr, you need to change that. They happened to go to a championship, and they felt, it must still work. And then Rich Rod
getting better quarterbacks than you guys, and Notre Dame's got a high standard.
Yeah, I know, but Notre Dame still doesn't. Look at how
I'm not looking at the rest of the program. I'm just looking quarterbacks alone.
Yeah, right. Well, I was just saying in general. I wasn't just talking about just the quarterback. I was saying in general, getting general recruits over there. I just think that Michigan needs to change some of those requirements.
Okay.
But what I was saying, the comment I was making earlier, I just think that the athleticism of McCaffrey and the accuracy of K. McInerney would have made a perfect quarterback for that game. You see when McCaffrey came in,
and then you had another Tebow.
Right. That run helped. You know what I'm saying? That run helped to utilize some of the blitzing that Georgia was doing. But then he got ready to throw the ball. He was missing targets. Yeah. Then McCaffrey, he was able to throw the ball, but he didn't have time to throw the ball. He couldn't run like K couldn't run like McCaffrey could. Yeah. But
you got a point. And just to finish the Michigan and Georgia part of it, I just think with Harbaugh and with everybody's point about how his scheme and how he's recruiting, it's a ceiling on it, and you can't mess with a Georgia or a Bama with this same system, and it has to be some modifications. So I agree with you on that. But going over to the Bama side and Cincinnati, I wanted to ask you guys this because I was curious how you guys felt about it. Now with Cincinnati, with the performance put on, does that deter in the future putting a non-Power 5 school in the college football playoff?
No, not for me.
Okay.
Each year, each year is different, right? Like there might be times where the Pac-12's got somebody. Say Oregon doesn't fall off. We're not talking about Cincinnati because they're up there. Oklahoma State. Don't you lose stupid games? They're up there. So it was a matter of attrition, right? Like what did I say? 2 months ago?
You have to give them a shot, though.
Cincinnati, the course, all these other teams had to play each other, and they were going to fall, and Cincy was going to rise. Right. So I don't think if you have an undefeated team and then all these other teams have 2 losses or more, you might see it again just because fairness. Like you can't shit on that team. If they're 13-0 and they're sitting there as a 3 or 4 in the country become mid-December, they're going to get the bid.
Let them play.
But if you're 13-0 and there's 6 top 5 schools that have 1 loss or less, they're going to get in. Let's be realistic. But if you have 2 losses against 0, the 0 is going to get it. Otherwise, you lose credibility, and then you play favoritism, and that's when everything goes to shit. So some years you might have to bite the bullet and put the bad team in just to keep credibility.
That's fair. That's fair. I just think that Cincinnati, I'll give them their credit. I will do this because I'm looking at it as a moral victory for Cincinnati because you were able to hang in there with big bad Alabama for a minute, and then just because Alabama has the better athletes and the better coaching staff, they were able to wear Cincinnati down and get what they wanted towards the end of the game. But it wasn't a blowout by stretch at halftime. I think Cincinnati was able to hang in there, and they just ran out of gas. So I will give them that credit.
I was sick. I slept the whole second half, and when I woke up at the end of the game, I was like, it's only 27-6. I go, what is it, halftime? And my son left. He goes, Dad, you slept the whole second half. The game's over. I go, it's only 27-6? Like, I was surprised. First thing I said, like, my eyes weren't even fully open. And I was like, that's it? That's all they beat them by?
Yeah. So I think that was a surprise there. And it goes back to the conversation before the playoffs even happened. When you got these non-Power 5 schools, this is where it pays off to have a strong schedule. Because now you're more equipped to handle Alabama further down the line because you face somewhat of a similar quality team earlier in the season. Because if you're going to play, if you schedule yourself a team that has horses and first-round picks all up and down the roster, and you can hang with them and might sneak a victory out of them, you know you can do that later in the season. And so that would benefit schools like Cincinnati big time.
I think the only problem I see with that is because of the way college football is. Like the NFL, you can win, you can lose a game in the beginning of the season.
Yeah. And
because of the way the playoffs work, or you do 4 or 5 games at the beginning of the season and get hot at the end, you get to the Super Bowl because nothing is deterring you from getting in but just record alone.
Yeah.
Lamar heard nothing after high at the end.
With college, it's not just record, it's the eye test, it's strength of schedule, all that plays a part. So if you're a team like Cincinnati and you schedule, like SEC teams, let's use that example because everybody say SEC is the best conference, and you lose one, a close one, to like A&M, you're not in the conversation no more. Especially this year, they wouldn't have been in the conversation no more if they'd have lost one to an A&M. Even though A&M may be considered, part of your strength of schedule, but people don't see Cincinnati as a strong team enough on that level.
I see your point. Your point.
So, I mean, I don't know what the solution is, but I think that's the only flaw of us seeing that.
But you got to remember this too. These games are all scheduled 3-4 years in advance.
I know.
Yeah.
their contracts in advance. They don't think, oh, we're gonna have a good team this year. We got to stock our schedule. Your schedule is gonna be your schedule. You know, some of these kids are in high school. The majority of them are in high school before they're playing a game as a senior. It's already set who their opponent's going to be. You got to give them credit, though. They did book Notre Dame. Notre Dame was a top 10 team, and they played them, and they beat them.
Right.
But, I mean, they beat who was on their schedule. The problem is the schedule throughout the conference play just isn't strong enough.
Yeah.
You
I
played
like the
Houston
idea.
in the championship, right? They were a
Yeah,
top.
Yeah.
Them and Notre Dame, I think, were the only top 25 teams they played this year, right?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure.
Notre Dame and Houston. Houston was a top 25 team that they got at the end of the regular season. But
they need to go to a different conference.
I get your main point, though, Nick. And that's a good point, too.
You don't have flexibility. The year you think you can make a run, you don't have the flexibility to change your schedule, is what I'm saying.
I believe like teams like Cincinnati, they need to position themselves in different conferences. If you got a coach like you do that can bring in, that you know is going to bring in good recruits year in after year, then position yourself in a different conference because you know you can build at least a decent team to be in the conversation. Yeah. So that way, while you playing, it may not be the first year you're in there because you got to get used to that competition. But just like, for instance, you take Cincinnati this year playing Alabama. That's still a good recruiting tool. Because you can sit in somebody's living room and say, look, we was in the championship game and, playing an SEC team.
Yeah. And a great recruiting tool is going to be Gardner going round 1, Sanders going late round 1 or early 2. Right. They're going to get guys drafted in the first 2 rounds.
And you can say, and we was in prime time. Yeah. You're going to get seen.
You're going to get exposure. You're going to get drafted. We're going to get you ready for the next level. They got that pedigree now, so it could be the beginning of something.
Right. So, they have good stuff they can stand on. So they don't have nothing hang their head low on.
Yeah. No, good points. Real quick before we transition to NFL, Nick, how do you see next Monday's championship game going down? Bama, Georgia, on marbles on the table.
It's a 2-part question. How do I see or how do I want?
Well, give us both. Give us both.
Obviously, I want Georgia to win. I'm tired of Saban's reign in college football. I think it would be good for college football, just like when Clemson beat them. I think it would be great for Clemson, or it was great for college football that Alabama didn't cakewalk to all those titles in a row, right? Mm-hmm. I want Georgia to win. I'm rooting for Georgia. I just think, and you said it earlier, you gave credit, and I'm going to have to give credit now, and then I'm going to do it, and there might be blood coming out from biting my tongue as I'm saying it. I got to give Nick Saban credit. He got to Alabama 16 years ago, 05 or 06, right? It was right after Breeze. He didn't land Drew Brees in the trade to Miami, and he's like, fuck this, I quit. He goes to Alabama, and up until the last 5 years, name an Alabama quarterback.
Can't really name too many.
Ingram, Henry. We can all name the running backs, right? Mm-hmm. The running back room was it. And credit to Nick Saban.
The wide receiver room.
He's producing quality NFL quarterbacks after having guys like Greg McElroy run their program. Because it's about handing the ball off and a little bit of play action, right? Mm-hmm. So now you got Hurts. You got Tua, you got Mac, and now you got the new kid, Young. Mm-hmm. You're going to have Alabama's turning into a quarterback school, which is fucking crazy because they haven't had one since Joe Namath.
Yeah.
It's been running back university, Alabama. It's been O-line and running game, and that they would just and tight ends.
Mel, you saw him sneak that Jets in there with Joe Namath.
I saw that. Right? I'm going with Barstar.
Or Rams for our West Coast listeners. A lot of people don't know Joe Namath ended his career with the Rams.
Yeah.
Most people
but kudos to Alabama because they're changing with the times. You used to be able to win on run game defense and win games 23-6. Now they can score with anybody the last couple of years. So I think it's a good chance. I think Georgia played as bad as they could play, and Alabama played as good as they could play. And it was still within reach until later in the game. So I hope to see a better performance by Georgia. I'm not surprised if Alabama wins, but I'm hoping Georgia finds a way to pull it out.
All right, Melly Mel, who you going with in
I'll be right back.
In the rematch?
Okay. I'm going with Georgia. I think if Georgia can get out there,
my man.
Well, I actually like Georgia outside of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
If they can get after the quarterback and keep him contained. So put pressure on him, keep him from running, get him down quick so he can't get his reads off. I think that's gonna disrupt his flow. And if Georgia can establish the running game, they should be able to win this game. I think Georgia has a better defense. I think Alabama offense is better than Georgia's offense. So Georgia has to take their defense and neutralize Alabama's strength, which is their offense.
I hear you.
And if they can do that, they should be able to win this game.
Yeah. Let's make it a clean sweep. I'm going with Georgia because of this fact. A couple of years ago, same scenario. Georgia couldn't beat Bama in the SEC championship. They needed the national championship. Georgia had the lead, and then Tua makes his debut into media world by second half comeback. But I'm of the belief this time that Kirby Smart is going to do everything in his power, and he's going to prepare his team to the max, because he's we've been in this situation before, fellas, where we need to get this win because this is our second time seeing these guys in the season, and it's the second time that we got to see them for a championship. And Kirby Smart I think he's going to be determined to be the first Saban assistant to get a victory over him for a national championship, because that means something. That means that you can take your program to that level and compete with him on not just a one-game scenario or a two-game scenario, but build the program to compete with Bama year in and year out, because they're going to see each other for the next, foreseen future a lot. So you want to get some victories while you can out of this quote unquote, battle between two powerhouse programs. You can't just keep meeting them,
right?
And have this
losing to them
and keep losing to them, because if you look at it, Georgia has just as much talent as Bama. They got just enough first rounders as Georgia, as Alabama, and so this to me is literally going to come down to coaching. Can Kirby Smart
have to live up to his name?
Yeah, can he live up to his name and live up to his moniker that he's been building down there, and be like, you know what, we can compete with these dudes, and not only can we compete, we can beat them.
Right.
So I'm definitely going Georgia in this. I like their chances for sure. But let's transition to some NFL.
Can I bring up something real quick that just
came
the bottom line? Oakland Raiders cornerback, last name is Dobbs, arrested early this morning on DUI. Have you not paid attention to your fucking team this entire season?
Right.
How Raiders will be the Raiders. I keep trying to tell y'all this.
I know.
Man.
But you figure with the new generation and the social media and the litmus test of of what's going on in the world and your locker room this year. I don't know. I don't get people, man. I don't get people. You can't fix stupid sometimes. And I don't get it.
Yeah, there's just another black eye to that franchise. And which you'll never hear me say, since we're going to transition to the Raiders and we're transitioning to the NFL, you'll never hear me say this a lot, because it's going to make me throw up in a second. I'm going to have to leave the set. But
let it go off the balcony.
I know. Got to give Raiders credit. I thought they were done. I literally thought that they were going to be absolute just tank the rest of the season, take your 6 losses and regroup next year. Enough off the field mess. Of course, you get another one today. And I thought they were going to be done. I give that team credit for keep fighting, and they have a chance to sneak in the playoffs by taking care of the Chargers next week. I mean, I didn't even think it was possible. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't think it was possible.
Preacher car.
Preacher car, yeah.
Preacher car.
But let's start with that game. Indy, it was in Indianapolis. Raiders got the victory 23-20 in Indy. So hey, credit to the Raiders for winning that game, because now they have the signature win over a good quality team. You know what I'm saying? It's not too many quality wins that you can say that the Raiders had. They got one yesterday, and it was over a good quality team in Indianapolis. At one point, Indianapolis was one of the hottest teams in the league in the last few weeks. So, good quality win for them. But I'm also looking at the Colts. You got to beat a team that's been kind of on the mends and struggling.
Right.
Especially because the Colts, you don't have a chance to get your division title. That's already set. But you at least want to get those wins to position yourselves in a better position when it comes to a couple more weeks. Because if we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, spots is getting claimed, divisions is getting claimed.
Yeah.
And I just thought, in my opinion, that was a bad loss for the Colts.
Right.
They didn't have the quarterback the whole week. Like, not that Wentz is slinging it all over the place, but he got cleared on what? He got cleared Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Practice is over for the week. By Friday morning, you do your walkthrough.
Oh yeah, game plan is already implemented and everything.
Playing like lights out. Like even Rodgers missed the game and came back and didn't look too great. But you can't expect Wentz to miss a week of practice and show up,
right,
and throw for a massive 175. But that's all they're asking him to do. Like, I'm not knocking him or his skill set. That's all they need him to do.
That's all they can do.
You know, that team is going to go as their offensive line brings them, and I'm very surprised that they couldn't go further yesterday. Excuse me. Hiccups.
I like that comment right there. Thank you, Polar Knights, man. Appreciate you supporting the show, man.
As a barber, I love this podcast. It's every stage.
Well, to break it down, Nick has the full lumberjack.
You see Lamar's.
See, that's the shit I'm talking about right there. See, that's it.
I didn't say it. Let's just clarify that for the viewers.
No, it's okay.
You call that the shadow?
I got the real shadow scrub.
Yeah, you really got the real shadow for real.
See, you know what?
Lamar looking like he's doing an interview. I'm like, happy back in the day. And then they brought me into the room.
Right. Like you doing an
identity
interrogation. His identity has been blacking out to.
Oh my gosh. See,
folks, you know, witness protection.
see, folks. This is what you get when you like, share, subscribe to the I.O.W. Sports Show. You
don't have to blur you. I'll just put you on camera. You see, black enough.
see, you get the shenanigans from damn Nick Shine and Detroit Mail. Always ganging up on me. Always hating on all the sexual chocolate I got going on over here. So that's what they do. But if you make sure you like, share, subscribe, you'll catch it every time. But how you feel about that game, Detroit, man?
You talking about the Indianapolis game?
Yeah. I thought he was talking about the beard game.
Oh no, no juice saving over there for Mel. He ain't getting nothing.
I think that I was disappointed to see Indianapolis lose because, especially with Jonathan Taylor being so hot, and I was on a bandwagon saying, "Oh, they're gonna win this thing," and I got to give the Raiders their props, But at the same time, the way Indianapolis constructed. They're constructed to have Wentz in that game. Whether you can say whether he's good or not, but the way they put together is built around Jonathan Taylor and Wentz being able not to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you got another quarterback in there, it just doesn't seem to work for Indianapolis because the way they constructed. Now, having said that, this is not going to look good going forward into the playoffs. Because now Wentz goes down, Wentz stays out or goes down again, what's going to happen? You got to find a way to win those games, especially get out for COVID. And that's only a game you're missing. So you go a playoff game, you got ready to win that game, so you get to the next game and have your starting quarterback back.
Yeah.
So they gotta figure how to do that. Raiders still trash. I don't care what you say. You know what I'm saying? Still trash.
That
So
makes
don't
me
get
feel
you
good.
Raider fans, don't get too excited.
It's just an outlier. It's just an outlier situation.
It's just a unicorn. You know what I'm saying?
Every squirrel gets a nut.
Okay. So, and I will too once we got this podcast. But anyway,
I paused. I was waiting. I knew something was coming.
All right.
All it takes is a free hand and some Vaseline.
Yeah, and on that note, we're gonna move on before Mel gets too deep into his own personal sex business. But
speaking of deep, no,
no, sir, no.
The paper, Mel. Keep those hands visible.
Yeah, please. Matter of fact, just do hands up the whole time while
you'll see it. It may go up and down, but you still see the hand.
Hands up, don't nut.
But no, moving on to another marquee game that took place yesterday. Arizona ran. They went down to Arlington, Texas, and walked out with a victory over the Dallas Cowboys, 25-22. All right, well, go ahead, Mel. Take it away.
Cowboys, how you feel about that game? Disaster, man. It just seems like when everything's rolling for the Cowboys, it's rolling. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when everything goes bad, it just goes horribly bad. And you know, it's like going back to the comment about good teams and great teams.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a great team, you can make mistakes, make those adjustments, and come back and overcome those mistakes.
Yep.
And the Cowboys, that's what makes the Cowboys not a great team. When it seems like it's like a domino effect. They make that one mistake and it's like deep, every domino fall.
They need everything to go perfect to win the game.
You know, and someone made this comment. Oh, I remember. Dan Orlovsky. Someone else I can't, make stupid comments. He says, outside of Trayvon, everybody played bad. I was like, no. Trayvon gets burnt. He got burnt in that game.
He's the first cornerback to give up 1,000 yards in a season.
Right. And it's just like
this year.
It's just like these commentators gets on these bandwagons and just keep riding. I say, do you watch the game?
They buy the flash. The flash is interceptions. The substance is getting fucking burned every game.
He gets burnt all the time and just happen to, take advantage of the opportunity. Tips, stuff like that. But
let's be honest, Stephon Diggs is a gambler. I saw Marcus Peters in Kansas City do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Trayvon. Stephon's the receiver in Buffalo.
Yeah, Trayvon. Yeah, no, but I'm saying Marcus Peters, same cornerback style.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He's going to take chances. He's going to gamble, and it's going to be a get burnt, or it's going to be like interception. It's one or the other. There's no middle.
Here's my thing about those type of corner. You only take those chances when you got safety help.
Yeah.
When you're on man coverage, you don't take those kind of chances because if you lose, that's a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Or a big game, at the very least, a big game, at the most, a touchdown.
Yeah.
You get burnt 3 times and get 1 interception. What good is that? I mean, really, if you look at it from that standpoint, what good is that? But most of these commentators and people are just looking at, oh, he got 2 interceptions, but he got burnt 5 times.
Exactly.
Gave up 2 scores. What good is that? The Cowboys need to find a way to win ugly games, and they haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Dak put him on his shoulder and try to make a comeback. Then, stupid Mike McCarthy and his poor game management, messed up their opportunity to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So they never gonna be good anyway because they got Mike McCarthy. So that's always a strike against them right there.
Look, that's the X factor.
Right. And then on top of that, they just gotta learn how to win ugly. I think great teams win ugly.
Yeah.
And they don't have that. Zeke fumble, drop a pass. They have receivers dropping passes. Come on, man.
It's funny you went
They
to
had
that
one
point.
sack.
Hey, but it's funny you went to that point because I'm looking at the running game of the Cowboys. You can't, this is not a diss on Dak because I think Dak is probably is a good quarterback. I'll probably say put him in the top 10. I'm not going to say top 5, but I'm gonna put him in top 10.
Ryan.
But when you don't have your $90 million running back and a solid number 2 running back, and as a team you rush 17 times and only get 45 yards, that's not helping your offense. That's not helping your defense, because that defense, how good it has played this year. You just like any other defense, you keep them on the field so long because you're losing time of possession. They're gonna wear down like any other defense.
Right.
So I think they need to fix that part going into the rest of this postseason. Oh no, you're right.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, Cowboys fans. Well, I don't hate to say it, but you guys are going to hate that I'm saying it. Cowboys fans out there, whoever listening, get prepared for the letdown. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
It is. It might even be the first round if they played the Cardinals again. Because all year long we had to hear from Cowboys fans about when we get Gregory and Lawrence back. All right, they're back. Yeah. When we get Tyrone Smith back, all right, he's back. When we get Lamb and Cooper, all right, they're back. Like, there's always we need this, we need more. This is going to get better. It's not getting better. They're the same fucking team. They beat up on the fucking nobodies, and they really don't stand a chance against the good quality teams in this league. Right. And the first week against Tampa Bay played the worst fucking game Tampa Bay has played the entire season. It was sloppy. It was multiple turnovers. It was failed execution, missing open receivers, and they still beat you.
Yeah.
So you're beating up on a cupcake schedule. You lost to the Cardinals without Hopkins, without Connor, without Humphreys. You lost to them with Christian Kirk and Wesley Walls, or who was the Wesley? You don't even know his name, but he scored 2 touchdowns on you.
Hell, AJ Green resurrected his career yesterday.
Trayvon Diggs.
Wesley Muhammad.
What do you think that Cooper Kupp and Beckham are going to do to Diggs if they play the Rams? What do you think Hopkins going to do to Diggs if he plays them? They're going to spin this motherfucker like a top because he gives up bigger plays than he creates. All right, you got 10 interceptions, 11. You've given up over 1,000 yards. You're giving up big plays. You would have given up a touchdown if it was anyone in the league who wasn't as slow as A.J. Green, but he still burnt you by 6 yards. Murray just threw him because he didn't expect to see A.J. Green that wide open, because the last time he was wide open, motherfucker didn't turn around. But you look at yesterday, and Arizona, with a banged-up Chase Edmonds, imposed their will on you.
Yeah.
And all this talk about your defense, where was it? It hasn't shown up. It's shown up against the Giants, who can't score against anybody. Congratulations.
It's funny that you say that, Nick, because the way that the standings are looking like right now, you're going to turn around and see Arizona again in the first round.
Yeah, unless Tampa or the Rams suffer a loss this week. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm also looking at Arizona in this game. They were going on a little bit of a bad skid at the wrong time of the season.
Right.
And this, I'm not going to say they're 100% out of that skid, but they've done something that we haven't seen from them in the last 2 years, is to actually still compete and get a win when it matters later in the season. It's because we kept seeing them get off to a hot start and then slow down. So kudos for them to getting, I think it was a necessary win for them yesterday.
Yeah.
Right.
It was more necessary.
It's their first win with a chance to clinch a playoff spot in 2 years. So I think they're 1-5 or 1-4 now.
Yeah, but they clinch now. They in there now. And Dallas, you're probably going to see them again.
And I think they're locked into the 5 seed because the 6 and 7 are 2 games behind them.
Yeah, they're
nobody else can get 11 wins. So they can be rested and healthy for that game. The pressure's on Dallas because you want to win next week and get out of that fucking game. You don't want to draw them in round 1.
Right.
Yeah.
After proving they just came into your building and beat you, and they didn't play well.
Yeah. Big point right there.
And I think Murray's speed is a very awful matchup for that defense.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to play sitting duck. They want to pressure you in the pocket, make it collapse, and get you. Him getting out of the pocket exposes that secondary.
Exposes Diggs.
100%.
Well, to your point, Nick, Kyler Murray, his mobility is something that the Cowboys defense don't see a lot of. Dealing with a stocky guy, short stature that can kill you with his arm first and then beat that dog piss out of you second with his feet. So it's not too many quarterbacks, most teams in general, that you're not going to see a quarterback like that. Another matchup that took place yesterday that was of great significance. You guys saw the Rams squeak one out over Baltimore, 20-19. Real quick on that, I think the Rams have found the right niche with OBJ is to get him on those short intermediate passes and let him do his stuff yards at the catch. And using him, what Cleveland failed to do is to use him in the red zone because he's getting a lot of red zone touchdowns since he's been in LA. I don't know the exact number right there. Last time I saw it was like 4 or 5 touchdowns he's gotten since he's been in LA. And so definitely a lot more than he had the year and a half when he was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And so, that kind of speaks to, maybe it wasn't OBJ in Cleveland. And maybe his pappy was right. Probably not the right way to go about it with the YouTube video, but that's a discussion for another day. But maybe there's some points, some validity to that situation. So I'm looking at that for the Rams.
He's a better offensive mind, right? Kitchens is a run power guy.
Right.
A little bit of play action. And when we said it, the day he signed with them, it was a Thursday when he signed, and we were talking about it. And I remember saying, we can't judge this signing now. We got to wait 5-6 weeks because he didn't have a training camp. He didn't have the play implementation time. You had to figure out how to use him. Woods went down, so now you had to put him into a bigger role than you expected to.
Right. A lot quicker, yeah.
That was the main thing. Like Woods and Beckham never played. Woods, Beckham, and Kupp never played a game together because Woods tore his knee the next day after the signing.
Yeah.
Which was some Tanya Harding type of shit, it looks like. but now you look at Beckham and how each week he's looking more and more comfortable. And it's showing faith in him, too, because the coach and the quarterback are going to him in big spots. And his foot quickness is still elite. And if you use him in the slot or if you can get him matched up on a linebacker and you're running him on a sprint out, it's an easy throw for Stafford. So it's evolving. Still time to grow.
Had a slow start, though.
Yeah, still time to grow. I think the best is still to come. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him there further than this because I think he's happy there. He's got a great quarterback. Crazy bar trivia question. Top 2 wide receivers, single season for wide receivers of all time. Who was the quarterback?
Oh, Stafford.
I mean, Kupp is 5th right now, but an average game of 95 yards for him will get him into number 2 all time. I think he needs 130 to pass Calvin for the best receiving season of all time. And
that's possible.
Matthew Stafford. Yeah. Well, it depends. What time is their game? Is it locked in? Is their seed locked in? Do they rest everybody as kind of like their bye week?
No. Here's my thing. They can't rest anybody because only seed that's locked for sure in the NFC is number 1 with Green Bay. So, but
I'm saying I haven't seen the other. I don't know when Tampa Bay plays. I don't know when Dallas plays. Dallas plays Saturday, right?
Dallas plays the Eagles on Saturday.
Okay, and I don't know when Tampa plays compared to, say, Tampa loses. like say they rest people because Dallas does what they do on Saturday. Tampa might play early on the East Coast. The Rams might be in a position to say, okay, win or lose, we're 2.
No. Tampa plays Carolina. It's a 4:25 game, and Rams have not New Orleans. I'm sorry, San Francisco, and that's a 4:25 game.
Yeah.
Okay, so they put them on at the same time to have more. That's actually really fucking smart. Finally, by the league, because in years past,
watching our show,
they haven't been able to flex the week 8 to the last week of the season.
Right. Yeah. Ryan says
anybody from having to sit players, everyone's got to play, which is good for competition.
Ryan says Rams have some insane offensive threats. They are scary in the NFC. I wouldn't want to play them. Stafford just turns the ball over too much. Yeah, and that's what I was alluding to earlier. That's the only problem with Stafford. Sometimes can get off these slow starts and throw picks and try to squeeze the ball in too much and it get tipped. You know, he has to clean that up.
He's streaky, right? He's a power pitcher in baseball. Mm-hmm. He's either striking out 15 or he's walking 7, right?
Right.
Like
that's why Kershaw's his boy.
That's why what?
Kershaw's his boy.
Kershaw's his boy. They went to school together in Texas.
Went to school together, right? They played baseball together.
Yeah. Good win for the Rams. It definitely helps them in the season. But let's look at Baltimore. I know Lamar's missed 2 games in a row now.
Mm-hmm.
He exited early against Cleveland where he had the ankle injury. Tyler Huntley's been decent. Didn't have a good game yesterday, but for the most part, he's been pretty good for what Baltimore's doing.
Tough defense, though, to have a good game against when they're on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but give that defense who has been getting ripped to shreds by injuries. Holds a high-power offense to only 20 points and was able to get 2 interceptions off of Stafford yesterday. So they were at least trying to keep that team in the game, and they did. Mm-hmm. You just need a little bit more offensive production. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit more. What's up, Ken? I'm looking at those two questionable balls. They can be considered questionable of Harbaugh going for the 2-point conversion. Now, when you had those situations not too long ago, a couple of weeks back, it gets magnified here because now you're in a position that you might not be in the playoffs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those 2 close losses that you possibly could have won had you converted those 2-point conversions. Now look.
right. I think, here's my thing about the Rams. On paper, the Rams like they should be blowing the NFC teams out. You know, and I think that they have pieces on there, but it's just like they haven't really. I haven't seen a game where they fully put it all together. You know, I've seen some games where the offense would kind of play pretty good, the defense get ran on a lot. I see games where the defense will kind of hold people, the little bit of yards, and then Stafford throwing picks. So it's like if they can come together with they play a good game, a total game, they're scary. But sometimes I haven't seen them do that yet. That's the only thing about the Rams. I need to see them play a complete game on both sides of the ball.
Against the top competition.
He must be talking about Nick. Say your boy like he about to go pitch 9 innings.
I know Nick's a relief pitcher. Always. He's a closer.
No, man, I'm still sick, man. I'm struggling to get through the end of the show right now, man.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
I'm toughing it out, man.
We appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you.
Hey, so let me ask you this, gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
What would you say to that about some of the coaching decisions that Harbaugh has made, and it might possibly cost them a playoff position?
Well, there's no guarantee they win those games. So, it's the old Michael K saying of you can't have an argument based off the fallacy of a predetermined outcome, right? You can't say, they would have made that kick. They would have won in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
So the analytics say go for it, and that's where we are.
Right.
And those decisions are not made by the coach on the sideline during the game. Those decisions are made before the season. Those decisions, when we come to they have the chart on when to go for two. That's part of the chart now. The analytics of late game situation on the road, we go for the win. And that's an organizational decision. That is not spur of the moment. That is not gut feeling. It's none of that. This is what we are going to do as an organization. And the analytics department, the coaches and the GM and the VP of football all have these meetings, and they decide these situations, maybe not the GM, but they sit there and they decide these situations on the road, we're going to go for the win because the numbers tell us this. The winning probability percentage is this. That's what they go off of. It's not him on a whim be like, leave Tucker over here. Let's try this.
Right.
That's all they know when they get to that situation. That's practice. That's rehearsed. That's decided. It's just those two didn't go their way.
Yeah, it's another case too. Like if it goes right, you're a genius. When it goes wrong, you know,
get the criticism. Yeah.
You get the criticism.
So, but here's my thing. I don't mind the decision to go for it because in the Pittsburgh game, he felt that the defense couldn't stop Najee Harris in that running offense, and he felt maybe Pittsburgh was going to go straight down the field.
Two cornerbacks.
Yeah, they were losing cornerbacks left and right, and so I'm not mad that you went for it. I'm more mad at the actual play call and the execution of it because everybody knew you wanted Mark Andrews. Then you turn around and you have a Packers team in your house who you managed to get back in the game on with your backup quarterback, and you have the chance to win it again. And you repeat the same decision. I don't mind the decision, but you repeat the same behavior by having another questionable call to win the game. And the execution of it, you got your man rolling out. He's automatically cutting off one half of the field. And, you know, that to me, that wasn't the greatest decision of it. I'm not harping Harbaugh for taking the chance of the gamble of it. I'm harping at the actual play calling decision. And now, hindsight is 2020. Those two losses have greatly affected your position in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I'm looking more as the attrition of you lost Stanley, you lost J.K. Dobbins, you lost Lamar for a couple games, you've lost Peter, you've lost so many guys on that team that eventually some of these opponents were going to come up and bite them. And I think that the injuries that they battled through are getting overlooked because how well they battled early on. But now you're looking at them and it's like, all right, that shit's starting to affect them. Because they've lost 3 close games, and if they got their players in, they're probably winning those games, and they're probably up in the top 2 of the AFC. So the fact that they lost so many guys for the season, I think they're top 3 running backs, right?
Yeah.
I just think it's not their year, and you're seeing that because people are going to fixate on, and I'm not saying that you're doing that, but people have fixated on, the call to go for it. All right, how about all the injuries? How about they're not even in these situations? They're winning these games by 7-10 if they got all their horses.
I hear you on that.
Will have adjusted. These gambles happen more than that. Okay, what are you saying now? Defense are going to
defenses are going to and have adjusted to these gambles happening more now.
Yeah, because you could take more chances on the final drive, knowing like, all right, they're going to go for 2. We could try to get a pick because we can still have a second chance to stop them on one play.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I mean, would you look at this Baltimore team? You know, yes, they suffer a lot of injuries, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But if they had a defensive starters, would they be winning those games? Is it really the defense, or is it the way the team is constructed?
Well, the construction of their team has never been an abundance of offensive
talent.
Right.
Yeah.
They've invested in the line. They've invested in their defense.
Right.
Everyone has said, get them more weapons. Get Lamar more weapons. They got Andrews. They got Brown. They brought in Sammy Watkins. I honestly can't name another receiver on their team. They've had a couple running backs that they had Edwards. They had Dobbins. They had the rookie or the second-year kid who was going to step up, and then he gets hurt like week 3. And they brought in Latavius Murray, Le'Veon Bell. They're bringing guys, Devontae Freeman, right? They were bringing guys in off the street and starting.
Herschel Walker.
Yeah. He's busy in Senate or Congress, whatever the hell.
Senator Walker.
He's like, can't do it. Got commitments. But you look at the team, they're not – none of the guys I named are elite talents or household names, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're not that talented and you suffer some setbacks, it's going to level the playing field. And when you look at the team and they're 8-8, the playing field's been leveled.
Right.
You know, they're a team that needs everybody healthy and everything right because they're not that talented offensively.
Correct.
So I just think it's bad luck, and I think they're a team next year that could be labeled the bounce back team of the year. You know?
Oh yeah. They're definitely, because I mean, just like you said, you get your whole running back room back next year, hopefully. You get both of your starting on defense back next year, hopefully. I mean, you bring up a solid point, Nick. When you miss so many starters that have been starting so many games on your team and they're not available, it changes a lot about your game plan.
Not every team can lose 12 players on offense and compete with the world champion Bucks like Zach Wilson and the Jets did yesterday.
Oh my God! There it was. See, there it was. I hear voices in my head.
That's a Dayquil, motherfucker.
But no, look, I'm expecting a good bounce back season next year from the Ravens. Their
big storyline to watch too is the contract.
Was who? Oh, Lamar. Yes.
Lamar hasn't signed yet, right?
No.
Baker hasn't signed. Lamar hasn't signed. Josh Allen has signed. Josh Allen's the only one of those 5, with Darnold and Rosen being the other 2 to get paid so far.
Yeah. Well, Donald's not going to get paid anymore.
No. But I just went through the top 5.
Of that draft
quarterback class.
Yeah. And Rosen, he'll continue to keep riding back up Rose.
Right.
So I'm saying I'm expecting a big bounce back year from the Ravens next year. It's just not this year. They just had too many injuries, too many things go
Cincinnati
in opposite ways. And the Rams, I think they're going to make some noise in the NFC. So now that you're talking about Cincinnati, who are now the AFC North division champs. When's the last time that happened?
81.
Is that fun? Are you just throwing that out?
Yeah, he's just throwing shit out.
I think that's the last time.
When was it?
No, the Jets went
88.
to Cincinnati for a playoff game when they had Carson Palmer.
Well,
so that's like early 2000s.
Cincinnati in 09.
Okay.
If they had a home playoff game, wild card weekend, they had to be a
division winners though.
I believe.
I don't think Cincy had won a division though. They just played. I think the last time they won a division was like 88.
Give me a second.
They had to win the division because the Jets were the 6th seed, so they had to play the 3 seed. If you're the 3 seed, you had to be a division winner.
Okay. You may be right. I gotta check the stats on that one.
I was 09.
Hey, but either way, it's an accomplishment that we're putting next to the Cincinnati Bengals. That has been a minute since this happened.
Right.
Big win against.
The key factor is you just bring a killer on your team, and you get wins.
Lamar, heads up, man. Jamar Chase just caught another pass.
Hey, look, I'm just gonna get it out of the way now, so I can lick my wounds a little bit more. Here's my thing, and I'm gonna start with the Bengals because they won the game. So, congratulations on being AFC North champions. It's been a long time since it happened, and look, they did what they were supposed to do: get the ball to Jamar Chase and If that fails, you find another way to give Jamar Chase the football. And if they try to stop the second option, then you come up with a third option to get Jamar Chase the football. And you do what you're supposed to do. You use your dogs. Or what's gotten you there to this point? And when you target him 12 times, he comes up with 11 receptions,
right,
266 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Right.
As a rookie.
Wow.
You get a turkey leg.
You executed your game plan how you drew it up.
No, Ryan, Boomer never run it. They lost to San Francisco both times.
No, they didn't win the Super Bowl, Ryan. We're talking about last time Cincinnati.
Oh, they won
the last time.
Yeah, Bengals won the divisions. Boomer won an MVP.
Yeah, because I think we're talking about when Cincinnati last won.
I would bet 2009 was the last time they won the division because, like I said, the Jets had a road playoff game there.
Oh, was that
I'm gonna actually go.
That's the year.
Who the quarterback was it? Sanchez or was it
No. I got the answer for you guys.
They had Carson Palmer. They had Chad Ochocinco. They had T.J. Houshmandzadeh.
Yeah, I'm talking about for the Jets. Who was the quarterback? Was it Pendleton? Was Sanchez? Okay.
Yeah.
Here you guys go. I got the answer. 2015 was the last time the Cincinnati Bengals.
Really?
Yes. 2015.
Andy Dalton won a division.
Red Rocket won a division.
Wow.
That fucking division sucks.
Wow.
Yeah, and Red Rocket got division title.
Richie Cunningham.
That was the year that Burfict hit Brown then, right?
Yes, that's the Burfict hit game.
I thought that was in Pitt.
Wow.
That's the Burfict hit game. Matter of fact, yeah, because they lost the wild card to them, but AJ Green was still in his prime. But look, Cincinnati did what they were supposed to, like we said. Good job being, AFC North champions. But you know me, I got to talk about my boys.
Can I comment on Cincinnati real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because he's going to be a while on the Chiefs, so go ahead.
Nah,
I mean, the sun will be coming back up behind him in the morning. He'll still be here by himself.
And you still won't see him.
And that blunt that he had that was this big to start will still be about this big.
First of all, it was a nice Jamaican cigar, which I got.
Okay. I was going to say, God bless your lungs, bro.
Is that a blunt?
Yeah.
So,
cigar.
Joe Burrow, bad man. First quarterback in NFL history to throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns in back-to-back weeks.
Wow.
All the accomplishments in NFL history by these quarterbacks. Excuse me. He's the first one to ever do it. Earlier this year, Lamar, I know you're pissed off they didn't listen to you. You were adamant. The first show we did, you were adamant about the Bengals taking Penei Sewell to protect Joe Burrow.
Right.
And I know right now you wish they fucking listened to you because if they don't have Chase, they don't win that game yesterday.
Hey, look, I'm never afraid to admit what's wrong, but when you have somebody like Penei Sewell and have him anchor your left side, you don't have to worry about that left side for.
I'm not saying you're wrong. Years. I'm just saying, goddamn, you wish they listened to you.
As a Chiefs fan looking at yesterday's game, you're damn right. I wish they would win.
I wish their line was better.
Our line was better because you look at the situation where Burrow campaigned and said, "Give me Jamar Chase," and the franchise listened to him, and then you get this production. Is this going to be the new trend that your quarterbacks are going to be, hey, give me this guy in the draft?
I don't know, but I know as a Zach Wilson fan, I was looking at the BYU receivers to see who he could ask for. I'm like, these fucking Mormons ain't making it in the NFL.
They're too busy with all them other wives.
Yeah, sure, Jamal. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if that's the new trend that you get more input from your franchise quarterback. But in this case, it worked out and good for Cincinnati. Because not only do you get the familiarity between Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, you're getting the same results. Jamar Chase is literally doing things that most receivers can't do. And it's funny, Justin Jefferson broke all kind of rookie records last year as a receiver, and then next year his teammate breaks deals. So, I mean,
it's still amazing to me that the New York Jets held Chase to 3 catches for 34 yards.
And
I'm not saying that as a dig to your team.
No.
A dig.
I am. No.
You could do it.
I'm gonna use it for a dig is because Nick, what the game plan was coming in to Kansas City. Jamel knew what the game plan was for the Cincinnati Bengals. I knew what it was. Stevie Wonder knew what it was. O.J. Simpson knew what it was. Johnny Cochran down in the dirt knew what the game plan was for Cincinnati. Everybody knew.
But Spagnuolo?
Yeah, but Spagnuolo knew that, hey, maybe I should stop number one in the stripes uniform.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like you're looking at the situation where he refused. Defensive coordinator. This was a game strictly on coaching right here.
Right.
Because I'm looking at both Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo. I'm looking at Spagnuolo is at what point did you just say, fuck it, he already has 200 yards receiving. We're just going to let him keep eating. Like, my thing is, because everybody and their mama knew what the game plan was, you start that game plan from the beginning. You don't single coverage him. You make sure that he's bracketed coverage the whole damn game. Period. We're at this point in the season where there are no surprises. You know what I'm saying? There's no surprise that Jamar Chase is going to get the majority of the targets for the wide receivers on the Bengals. There's no surprise to that. So common sense says the guy in the orange and black stripes, number one, with Chase on the back, we better make sure we got him accounted for at all times.
I hear you. I will say this though, you have to still account for Mixon because you put bracket coverage on Chase. The Mixon come out the backfield is going to pull the linebacker. He's beating that linebacker all day long.
But I don't know. We got the linebackers that could cover him. The Chiefs got Nick Bowden, a rookie who's very underrated, and his rookie linebacker numbers are on par with Michael Parsons. Maybe not the sacks, but the tackles, solo tackles, and being around the football. He's been very productive. We got another second-year linebacker in Willie Gay that has speed that can cover Joe Mixon. And so, and I think that's what irritated me with that game is because you have the people on defense that can cover Cincinnati's offense. You chose not to do it. And I'm also looking at Andy Reid. Patrick Mahomes in that offense was looking damn good. You put up 28 points in the first half. Second half, you let off the gas and only mustered up 3 points. And so, to me, that was a coach's game that they lost because I didn't care for the coaching at all. You just can't let one guy destroy you on defense.
Right.
And you can't forget that you got to play offense. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I would say this though, and just on generalization of the AFC. I mean, how excited can you be? You can have Patrick Mahomes. You're gonna have the killer.
Yeah.
You're gonna have Herbert. You know what I'm saying? Going all against each other, back and forth, beating up on each other. That's exciting football.
Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen.
Who?
Josh Allen in Buffalo.
Oh, Josh Allen. I don't know why I said something else.
Oh no, Josh Allen in Buffalo.
Right. Yeah, Josh Allen in Buffalo. I mean, that's a lot of great quarterbacks going at it in the AFC. You got Baker Mayfield. Sorry, just joking.
No.
But you know what I'm saying?
What we're not going to do is give our audience false narratives and false hope. All right.
I thought it was National Cap Day.
So. No, it ain't National Cap Day. That's on Thursday. But no. Today's Monday. We're not going to sit here and tell our audience a lie that Baker Mayfield is going to be in that category with those 5 other quarterbacks.
Right.
We can't do that.
So, the AFC, I mean, for years to come, these are young quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be nice just to watch them play. I mean, and to a degree, Indy is a good team. You know what I'm saying? We can say we want about Carson Wentz, but they've got a good game plan around him, and with that defense, and with the way
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor is running. I mean, the AFC looks great. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think it look good in the NFC.
I was making my tea, and I came back to listen. Fuck you guys! You didn't even say Zach Wilson.
No, see, Nick, what we're not going to do.
You missed the conversation about National Cap Day being Thursday.
Yeah. That's National Cap Day is Thursday, Nick. We're not going to lie to our audience about the future of great quarterback play.
Told you guys, man. Outplayed Tom Brady for 57.5 minutes yesterday.
Big red lady and egg for sure. Spaz got sauced.
Oh yeah, that was just a bad coaching effort yesterday.
So was that just an anomaly?
Bad coaching, or was that just fucking? We got a mismatch and we're gonna exploit it all day, no matter what.
No, but here's
that coaching, because every catch I've seen of Chase was contested. The one up the sideline, left to right, was wide open.
Yeah.
But everything else, man, he was just going up and manning on our Boston people.
Yeah, but here's my thing, though, Nick. You know how great Jamar Chase has been all year. We all know.
Except
except Steve Spagnuolo. He forgot how great Jamar Chase was. He found out. But he left him in single coverage majority of that game. And that's why I look at it like that's not going to work out in your favor a lot.
No.
You leave an athlete like that single coverage.
Right.
I mean, Jamar Chase is going to beat single coverage every damn time. You know what I'm saying? More times than not, he's going to beat it. And
he's a stud, man. He's an absolute stud. And people questioned him when he wanted to opt out. It's going to hurt his draft stock. It's going to hurt him in the NFL. Yeah. Tell me more.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Throw more bullshit my way.
Hey, bullshit flings a lot in the media in sports.
Oh,
so,
definitely.
It is what it is. But,
can I bring something up?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know we talked about the AB situation, so I figured that was enough. That's all we had to talk about during the Jet game yesterday. There's nothing else. But right before the half, Tampa Bay's driving, and one of our three outstanding secondary players that we drafted, Brandon Eccles, picks off Brady, trying to throw a deep pass to Evans before the half. Picks it off about the 12-yard line, returns it to midfield. Jets get a field goal instead of Brady going down. Now, even my son and daughter sitting here go, oh, man. I go, what? We got the ball first? I go, yeah. They go, oh, Brady's going to score now, and he's going to score to open up the second half like he's always done to us. And I'm like, oh, shit. Next play, interception. We're all going nuts, the three of us. Do you know Brandon Eccles walked up to Tom Brady with a fucking Sharpie after the game? And can you please sign the ball that I
intercepted off of you?
And you know what?
That's gold. That's gold.
You know Brady is at the point where IDGAF, where he's just like, yeah, bro, here you go, man. This is what this game means to you. Go ahead. Like, Tom Brady at 28 would have laughed at it. Tom Brady 25 years later is like, you know what, man? The fact that you picked me off, this is going to mean something to you one day. Here you go, kid. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty weird that Eccles did it on the field, and they didn't send it to them through the PR guy afterwards under the stadium. But I also thought it was even cooler that Brady did it.
Yeah. I want to raise a real quick question, and this is before we get out of here, because we'll stay on for about another 5 minutes. But Joe Burrow, after the game, says, yeah, we caught a break. We got a couple of calls last night. So you're starting to see players recognize some inefficiencies in the refereeing, the officiating. Kyle Vanderer said the same thing.
Well, they recognize they're just speaking up more.
I think they're speaking up more. I think they recognize it from a while. Okay. I think they're just speaking up more, and they're not worried about the fines and the consequences about the shit.
I don't think there's consequences if I think there's consequences if you take digs at the refs, you get fined.
Well, that I mean, it's still a dig. It's still a dig.
Yeah, but I mean, you're getting to the point where, with everything out on social media, you're all going to see it. You're going to see the plays anyway.
Right.
I don't think there's any shame in saying, you know what, today a couple calls went our way.
Mm-hmm.
Last week they didn't. Where you're not taking digs, you're just acknowledging human error, and that's what it is, right? Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to be like, you know what, calls went our way today. Basketball, ball bounced our way today a couple times, right, with a couple calls.
Right.
You know, balls and strikes. Catcher argued with the umpire early, so it wasn't our day with the strike zone. You get comments like that. I don't think it's a overly eyebrow-raising thing to just say, you know, today we were lucky. Might not be that way next week, but today a couple calls went our way.
Okay, that's fair. Hey, man.
I mean, if you're fucking chest bumping and high-fiving referees, yeah, that's
oh, you mean do the Tom Brady route? Okay, yeah.
If it's like Die Hard 2 and you're going in everyone's pocket and they all have 10 quarters for the toll, then something's up.
Yeah, I agree with Nick. I think that it's not a problem. To me, it's not in general anything. I don't think it's a problem with pointing out things that are wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing I learned a long time ago, I learned how to say anything to anybody.
Except your real name.
Right, except for my real name.
Never say your real name.
You know, I learned how to tell somebody they're stupid and let them laugh with it. Because it's not all the time what you say is how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, you know, when you criticizing refs, sometimes people go overboard and they get, boisterous about it and actually making it personal.
Yeah.
And that's where refs gonna take offense to it. But if you say, yeah, you know, I don't disagree with that. I disagree with the call, blah, 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 and you keep it moving, most refs will be like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know, I think a lot of times with some players that have gotten in trouble, they took digs at the ref.
Yeah.
And then now you kind of stepping over that line.
Yeah.
You know, and
a line stepper.
Right. All right. That'll be me. But anyway.
You hide it very well.
And so, you know, I think that's just the biggest issue. 'Cause I think everybody should be able to criticize anyone. Just know how to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Can criticize without attacking.
Without attacking.
And when you attack, you cross the line, and that's when you get fined, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because
you're like, these refs were shit today.
Right.
All right, you're getting fined.
Right. And it could be
I don't
true.
feel that the referees put themselves in the best position to make the calls today.
Right. There you go. That's the job interview.
You said it more diplomatically, right? And that's all it's about.
That's a job interview answer. You know.
Yeah.
That's a press that's a press conference answer though.
And that's how you're supposed to do it. Because you be professional. You said you gotta say doors closed and you and Ed Hockley's behind closed doors. Say no, you fucked up, right?
Ed Hockley's never made a mistake in the NFL. Ed Hockley was perfect. My boys would kill me for years because I would get overexcited when Ed Hockley did a game just because he was the first ref with the bicep. So it would be like, I can't believe I'm in the same building as Ed Hockley right now.
What's his son? His son is repping now.
You can see the veins in his biceps from section 325.
Isn't his son repping now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His son looks like he's been curling since he held a bottle. Same thing, man.
Yeah, so you know, I just think that's what it is, and I think it makes for a better game. You know, when they can criticize each other, or just not going to battle with them, because some of these calls are crap.
Absolutely, but we say it all the time. You got 7 officials. A couple games had guys get bounced out this weekend, and they were down to 6.
Right.
Trying to watch 22 athletes. It's not like it's 1960 anymore. And the middle linebackers are 210 and the offensive linemen are 255.
Right.
These guys are 360, like Mekhi Becton when he plays, back when he played in the NFL.
Right.
And run 5.48.
Right.
So the speed of the game and the fact that there's only 6-7 officials out there, some of them women, are trying to see what's going on is amazing.
I saw that dig. I saw that dig.
I slid that in real nice.
Hey, that one as a female, I'll be checking her for Adam's apple.
Yeah, and on that note, before these jokers start going off into a
Are you
deep
sure that's a
end,
woman?
no, no, we're not gonna go down in that rabbit hole and get us canceled before we make it big. So yeah, look, I'm gonna cut this shit off right here.
Still can't believe Jamaica has better internet. I still cannot believe Jamaica has better internet than Detroit.
What
we just need to sell that off to Canada already, man. We got to get Mel a passport. Next time he wants to go home, it's going to be part of Canada.
Yeah. But no, great show today, fellas. I think we touched a great top body of topics.
Well, let me say this for you, but this is no offense to my LGBT community QA plus community. If I left out a letter, my bad. But I ain't getting enough sleep. We love y'all. But the Adam's apple gotta go. No, just joking.
Wait. You know that women referees, that don't mean they're part of the LGBTQ community.
I don't know where he was going with this.
I didn't know either. He was apologizing.
Bro, I was trying to end the show, and he just had to throw that in there, and it was way off topic for what the hell was.
I'm just trying to shout out to my
female official in the NFL. You probably are.
Yeah, I'm just saying. For real. I'm just saying. It's like you played the WNBA. I don't know.
Yeah, on that note, everybody, all the viewers that have managed to keep following us, go ahead, like, share, subscribe to our YouTube page, Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram page. We got them all. Again, Mel's going to drop the links to the Patreon. So if you're real charitable, you can drop something in the collection page. Help us offset these expenses to building this media conglomerate. He will also drop the link in there to get some merch, some I.O.W. sports merch.
Right.
Our sister podcast, After Wonder podcast, and of course, the J. Edwin collection. T-shirts and hoodies are in there as well. So until next time, till Thursday, we will have our final regular season NFL Week 18 picks.
Right.
It's been real. On behalf of the homie Big Nick,
Mark,
Detroit.
Get home. You and the wifey get home safe, brother. Safe travel.
For sure.
There's some crazy storms and winds going on up here across the country right now. So safe travel. Mel, when you get a chance tonight, hit me up after the show. Let's talk about the things we talked about earlier, all right?
Okay.
All right, fellas. Hey, until next time, come check us out Thursday. Like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, folks. It's been real.
Peace.
Peace out, boys.
Yeah.